she's really just been pushing towards kind of, yeah, increasing awareness and expanding the kind of the vision for like what a kind of community of people who care to connect to kudzu kind of looks like. One of the things we're focusing on now, and the other main one is still kudzu producing kudzu products for use, but not just our own use, trying to develop products that can be used or that can be sold commercially, and kind of trying to develop processes as well as products, as well as awareness of the products and demand for the products, with the kind of general idea that kudzu is a really incredible resource that is almost entirely untapped, and it's also widely perceived as a problem. And I don't consider it myself to be like a problem that we need to throw a lot of resources at, like trying to solve the problem of kudzu as an invasive species. But I do know that we need to do something.
Yeah.
So for some kind of management, the main concept is just management through use, or control through harvest.
Which I guess humans are the primary predator of the plant.
Precisely, yeah.
Turn it into something symbiotic in that way.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's also just a pragmatic thing. It's like what we've been doing so far to deal with the quote unquote kudzu problem has not been working. Like, your goal is to stop the expansion of kudzu. We're just not there. Like, it is continuing to expand. And the kind of standard protocol right now is to spray some pretty severe herbicides, and kudzu is very resistant to the herbicides. I mean, there are some herbicides that are pretty effective, but you got to use a pretty heavy doses. It's just a very difficult plant, because wherever the vines touch the ground, it can root. So you need a systemic herbicide, and that's a non-selective herbicide. It kills everything. You need a good bit of it because the roots can be really, really deep and really persistent. Best case scenario is like, okay, the chemical solution to the kudzu problem is working, but what are the downstream effects of that?
Yeah.
And what are the upstream effects of all of the fossil fuel energy that goes into producing these chemicals, and all of the people who are responsible, having their bodies in contact with all these chemicals, not to mention the applicators. It's so linear. It's like, got this thing, that's a problem, let's kill it. And it misses out on so many opportunities. Of course, it's like so many things we're doing in this realm. It's like we're reaching so much, I think, to like not only address some ecological problem, but also like try and get to that core. I don't want to frame it necessarily as a problem, but that core issue of like the human relationship to our landscape, cultural, political alienation, like systemic alienation from our places, and a kind of connection to it. To me, it's like a little bit of like a multi-pronged solution to say, okay, let's harvest the kudzu and use the products, create and kind of promote and generate demand for, an interest in, and awareness of, and appreciation for these products, and through that process, we can not only prevent kudzu from expanding further, and perhaps even make some headway against the kind of footprint of kudzu, and recover some land for other better uses than to have giant kudzu patches everywhere, and then also in the process heal ourselves in some important ways. Much more complicated than picking a chemical off of a shelf.